What's going on? Waist deep wade fishing, Southwest Florida here. And good God, it's been a long time since I've been able to get out here and make a video for you. The weather has been awful. Cold, in the 40s in the morning, blowing 15 to 20 out of the northeast, just tearing up the flats, just not very fishable for the type of fishing that we do. But as you can see right now, the sun is up, the temperatures are rising. We have about 2 weeks of really good tides coming up in front of us. So you will be seeing me out on the water. But before we go into the video today, I want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing, and sharing, supporting Waist Deep Wade Fishing Southwest Florida. Also, for people who didn't know, we dropped our new apparel, our Waist Deep Wade Fishing shirts. They are a limited edition, numbered 1 through 100. We have sold 20 already, and I have the next 20 coming this week. We have them in blue, which you can see here, Carolina blue, pearl white, and silver gray, all sizes, short sleeve and long sleeve. If you'd like to purchase one of those, you can go right down into my description, reach me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Messenger, email, or phone. Either way, you can get in contact with me to find out how to get one of these shirts. So, let's jump into it. Oh my goodness, winter is here. Big trout are on the prowl. Huge redfish are in the creek mouths. So today we want to talk about Southwest Florida. This one goes out for the guys that are out here in this area, particularly in Florida. Now again, with fishing for trout, snook, and redfish, there's a lot of similarities, except when you're in the real southern areas. And I'm going to give you an example. We fish shallow water. So, I'm fishing between 1 and 3 feet deep, maybe 4 feet deep max. And when the temperatures drop, especially snook, they just don't like it. They don't like it. They will go up the creeks as far as they can, up into the the channels and the canal systems in the residential areas, and stay up there where the water is warmer. But eventually, once that water starts to warm up again, they're going to come back out on the flats, and then they're going to feed. So today, what we're going to talk about is what to do after this cold front has come through. What do we do now? What do we look for? What's my target sites? Should I hit the grass flat? Should I hit a point? Should I go up the creek? Well, I'm going to explain everything to you. And again, later on this week, you'll see me out there using what I'm talking about to catch these fish. So let's start with trout. That's the first thing. Sea trout. What are they doing? How do we catch the big ones right now? Because this is the time of year to find those big gator winter trout between 22 and 30 inches. Now, a 30-incher in Southwest Florida is rare, but you can catch 23 through 27 all day long. They're out there. You just have to know where to find them. Where are they going to be? Well, let's start. So now we have temperatures in the mornings anywhere between the high 40s into the low 60s, and then warming up into the afternoons into the mid 70s. That's the trend that we have going on right now. So where are the trout going to be? Well, the water, right now is between 62 and 65 degrees. It's just starting to heat up. So what those trout are going to do is they're going to go into the warmer areas early in the morning. So my suggestion to you, if you're fishing in the southern part of Florida, especially on the west coast, and you're inside and you're inshore, I would stay home. There's no need for you to be out there at 6 a.m. when it's freezing. Those fish are not going to feed. Okay, they're going to be lethargic. You want to wait a couple of hours until that water warms up. Once that water warms up, you're going to try to find ambush points and creek mouths. Reason being, all that fish, and you have to watch the tide though, but all the fish and all the bait is going to be pushed up inside of those creek mouths at night to keep warm. And what's going to happen is, as that tide starts to flood out during the day, okay, all that bait and all those crab is going to push out from those creeks, And those fish that are all back up in the canals and all up in the creek mouths, all the way up there staying warm, they're gonna come out, the water's gonna dump out, and then they're gonna come out onto that grass flat and sun themselves. So a person who's on a skiff, a kayak, or wade fishing, okay, if you have access to them, your best bet right now would be to walk out and find a creek or a bay, a mouth of water, okay, that has a choke point that's going to lead out into a flat, preferably full of grass. You know, if you're in a kayak and you can find a mud flat, you know, that's fine. But if you are wade fishing, you're going to need some hard bottom so you can stand there and fish. Find that creek mouth. Use Google Maps. There's plenty of them out there. It's just a matter of finding them. That's what I do. That's what I take my clients on our adventures doing. If I do it and I'm successful, you can do it and be successful. So as far as sea trout, you know, looking for the big ones, you know, if you can get out there, you know, with you really don't want bluebird skies. You'd like it sunny, but a little bit of cloud cover. Get out there about, you know, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Once that water starts to heat up a little bit, that sun is shining, they're going to come out there and feed. You can still catch them on top water. You can still catch them, you know, on a jig. But I would suggest, and the reason being, it's wintertime. Use a bigger plug. Use a big top water plug, because the fish are not going to want to use a lot of energy to go after a small little bait. So if you're hunting a big predator, a big redfish, a big trout, especially right now, I suggest using, you know, either a she dog, a she pup, Super Spook Junior, or the regular Super Spook, bone, pink, chartreuse, silver. You know, there's a variety to use right now. You know, bring a couple with you, try them out and see which color works for you on that particular day. But if you are hunting those trout, again, grass flats is where it's going to be at. Now, if you can't find any grass flats with a creek mouth, then if you can find a sandbar that has a couple of guts, on the incoming tide, stay on the inside of the gut and throw your plugs in through the gut and bring it back through. Those fish are going to be sitting there waiting on the outside of that gut to ambush whatever comes through, especially in the colder months. That's where you're going to find the big sea trout right now. So I hope that works for you. Give it a shot. As far as jig heads, basically the same principle. Slow your roll though. You want to throw the jig out, give it a pop, 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 let it sit, count 20 seconds. Pop, 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 let it sit, count 10 seconds. You want to slow your roll in the winter. And if they're skittish, use a small presentation. Anywhere from a 2.75 inch DOA shrimp as far, and then go as high up as a down south lure in a 4 inch. But I wouldn't go any bigger than that as far as soft plastics for sea trout. Now there's tons of areas to fish, but the most productive areas are going to be creek mouths, guts near a sandbar on warm days on the grass flats, and if you have a kayak or boat, on the cold days, go up into the back of the creeks or up into the canal systems in the residential areas, fish structure, and you're gonna find a lot of snook back up in there. Big snook. The big snook are not gonna be out on the flats yet. You'll catch a couple here and there, but they're not gonna be as plentiful as they're going to be here in the next 3 months coming. So moving on to redfish, my favorite fish that's out there. Redfish, where are they gonna be? Well, they're gonna be in the mud. It's just plain and simple. You're gonna wait for the incoming tide. You wanna fish the inshore shorelines. On an incoming tide, they're gonna be rooting around for the crab that's sitting in the dark mud and the shrimp that are keeping warm. You wanna find out where the ambush points are. Again, creek mouths, excellent for you to go out and fish for them. Throw a soft plastic, throw a plug. Preferably go with the soft plastic because it's still cool. Those fish are going to be hugging the bottom where it's warm. The colors that have been working for me for trout and redfish have been the purple rain and the purple rain and the down south lure, DOA callishad in white, DOA callishad in gold, the DOA callishad in gold and white, and the chicken of the sea on the down south lure, and the chicken on the chain with the DOA lure. So I hope everyone can get out there and enjoy themselves. I hope this helps. Just remember, in the wintertime, focus on ambush points, creek mouths, and if you can't find those, find a sandbar that has a gut that you can stand on the inside of on the incoming tide, and I'm willing to bet my fishing rod on it, you're going to go ahead and find some big trout out there. All right, till then, I'll speak to you soon. This is Mark with Waist Deep Wade Fishing, Southwest Florida. I love you all. I'll see you on the water. Get yourself a yellowmouth, a line sider. Don't forget that redfish. Till then, see ya.